but at the same time, I really don't care. Oh, thank God, a wholesome story about the Vietnam War. Alexa, play Fortunate Son. Lighter from Vietnam connects veteran stories 50 years later. Christopher Power and Glenn Nisworth never met, but a Zippo lighter connects these two, one of whom settled in Temple Terrace. 52 years ago, Christopher Power and Glenn Niswonger. Niswonger? Niswonger? It's clearly German, I think. Well, this isn't helping. Nice Wong there. Yeah. Nice Wonger was Delta Company. Power was Bravo. They never met, but they must have come close. From 1969 to 1971, their unit fought out of Hill 411, a forward fire base with a good view of the surrounding valley about 7 clicks west of Quang Nhang City. Newspaper accounts published by the Army suggested the area was heavy with Viet Cong. Like there was a booby trap under every bush, is how a first lieutenant from Gainesville described the painstaking process of clearing the hill at the time to create the temporary base. Power got to Vietnam right around the time the hill was taunted by the enemy with the American folk ballad, Where Have All the Flowers Gone, blasting in the distance. GI fired artillery and mortars, the Associated Press wrote, to silence the loudspeaker. The Southern Cross reported that around this time, Niswonger arrived there. Delta Company was hit with an early morning mortar attack back near an old fallow rice paddy. In Vietnam, that doesn't narrow it down. Apollo 11 landed on the moon shortly after that. Nice Wang there's company lost 6 soldiers that week. 1970, both Nice Wonger and Power made it back to the U.S. alive. They would never meet as they built their separate lives. It would take another 50 years and a small token from Vietnam to pull their stories back together. Nice Wonger returned to his hometown, New Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and immediately got married and had sons. Worked in a factory making refrigeration equipment, won his league bowling tournament, lost a wife, married again, loved to read the Bible, and isn't much of a traveler.
Yeah, Jesus!
God fucking damn it, every time! Fucking Christ, my heart! Mr. T.Y., you just gave me a goddamn heart attack! Holy shit, dude! Holy shit! How'd your stream go, buddy? I'm reading happy stories about Florida Man. Power lived in Temple Terrace. He was a gregarious bachelor for decades with no kids and eccentric friends. He made his living as a carpenter, married a volunteer bartender from the veterans of Foreign Wars Post 10104 at 59. He loved to golf. He didn't go to church, but he traveled to 14 countries. Both men were quiet about their experience, but both eventually became dues-paying members of the Hill 411 Association, which organized annual reunions. Power died on January 30th at 71. It was announced in last month's Hill 411 Associated News. That's when Nicewonger had. I'm reading a wholesome story about 2 Vietnam veterans. That's where Nicewonger said he read it. He then went upstairs and opened a box of items he kept for 50 years. He still had the hammock that he said he belonged to a Vietnamese officer and his boonie hat, which looked just like I'd taken it off. And there, he said, was a lighter engraved with the name Chris Power. How does he feel now that when he looks at the stuff now? It brings back memories I don't want to bring back. Was there anything good about your experiences in the Vietnam War? Bro, the most positive thing that happened to most of those people were the STIs they caught from the prostitutes. Vietnam was awful. I can't remember feeling 1 second of happiness the entire time I was there. Then the 73-year-old said he had enough of those questions. Power's widow, Lori, received a package on October 26th in the mail in Temple Terrace. It was a Zippo lighter and a letter from Newswonger. I served in Vietnam at the same time as your husband, Christopher Power. While I was in Vietnam, I found a letter with Chris Power's name on it. I know this is 50 years later, but in God's time is not ours. Sending you his letter, for it is not mine to keep. Lori felt Felt close to her late husband holding such a personal item. It illuminated a part of her life she never knew. There's no way to know it with absolute certainty if the letter really came back from Vietnam. It had all the right markings of a 69 Zippo, but counterfeit Vietnam Zippos exist. Lori will have none of that. The comfort she gets from carrying the light... Bro, are you really doubting it that it's real? Don't be a fucking dick, Tampa Bay Times. Fuck you. Let them be happy. Lori will have none of that. The comfort she gets from carrying the lighter with her everywhere, wrapped in Newswonger's letter, she said, is absolutely real. The two men didn't have much in common following the Vietnam War, but they are bound by an experience. They must have shared a visceral, permeating feeling that so many soldiers drafted in the war felt as they lived and died 10,000 miles from home. Pointlessness, absurdity, resignation. Yeah, Newswonger said something like that. Even a non-veteran can almost feel like it. The lighter Powell chose to carry, Newswonger chose to keep. As you see, the letter said, on one side it's what all GIs said at one time or another. Lori turned the lighter over and saw Snoopy's nose lying atop a doghouse. A speech bubble flowing from his mouth contained two words. Fuck it. Man, stop making me feel fucking positive emotions. This is awful. I hate this shit. I want to go laugh at stupid people. Yeah, I'm not reading these. These are too wholesome.